Continuing our discussion on counter conditioning and desensitization. I just want to talk a little bit about food, but make sure that before you make any type of changes to your dog's diet, to have a discussion with your vet or vet nutritionist. Specifically, I want to talk about how we might eliminate or reduce our pet's meals and what type of treats we use. Of course, counter conditioning doesn't have to be done with food, but that's usually the most expeditious process. Closed economy is basically where we use all of the dog's food in counter conditioning sessions. I am not a fan of the closed economy for several reasons. Number one, it's actually good for the dog's psyche and their digestion if they have some meals on their own in peace. Of course, dogs do like working for food, but I'd rather have them work through a food puzzle, not all of their food through counter conditioning sessions. My biggest concern with a closed economy is that although we try our best to keep a dog below threshold, we can't control every aspect of a counter conditioning session, and some sessions might become stressful. Of course, we want to avoid that as best we can, but because some can be stressful, we don't want the dog in a situation where the only time he or she gets to eat is when he or she is under stress. That's why we need to have some of the food in peace in a calm, quiet environment. But we do use a lot of food during counter conditioning, and we don't want our dogs to gain weight, so I am a fan of reducing meals. Maybe 1/4 or 1/3 of their meals could be used for counter conditioning. Basically, what I do with my dogs, my older dogs who can't eat a lot at one time anyway, they get about 1/3 of their meal during walks and counter conditioning. They get about 1/3 of their meals for training tricks, and then 1/3 of their meals just on their own that they can eat in peace. I have another dog who can have big meals all at once, and I like for her to really work for her food, to really chew on slabs of meat. So she gets tiny bits of meat during the day or during sessions, but then she gets a bulk of her food as a meal in peace. But the main thing is, though, we don't want our dogs to gain weight, so we watch the calories. Another thing to look out for is the type of treats we give. If we give our dogs a whole bunch of unhealthy treats and then reduce their meals, then that's probably not good for them. So talk with your vet about what's the safest you can use, but it's also high value. And it's certainly an individual dog thing, an individual human thing. I prefer giving my dogs just plain meat with nothing added at all. So far in advanced counter conditioning and desensitization, we've talked about some basic terminology, some adjuncts. This session is on food, and I've already posted a little bit of videos on nail trims as some examples, and I'll be posting some more video examples as well.